Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. So this week I really want to focus on my newfound love for pattern writing. So recently I came out with my first what I would call more complex pattern. So I designed this sleepy little bear, and honestly this one has been inspiring me to start like a whole collection for these sleepy little animals. And over the course of the past week, ever since I finished this pattern, I've been thinking about other animals I could kind of design in the same little sleepy, laying on the stomach position that would make sense and I think would look cute. So I've come up with a whole list of ideas to expand on this collection for this sleepy little bear. And over on Instagram, a lot of people have been loving this little guy, so I can't wait to expand my collection in that direction. But before we start on some new animals, first of all, I wanted to show you a little work in progress that I currently have going on. So I started making some body parts for my sleepy little bear in this fuzzy yarn. This is the Allies Softy Plus fuzzy yarn, and I really like the look and feel of this one. I don't usually use it for markets, first of all because it takes such a long time to crochet with fuzzy yarn like this. It's very much harder to see your stitches with this type of yarn. And then second of all, I can't really legally use this for my plushies that I want to sell because this is not certified. So I don't usually get to use yarn like that, but for my own patterns, I've kind of made it a tradition to keep at least one copy of them, so one physical plushie of each of my patterns. So I thought for the one that I keep for myself, I really want to have a fuzzy little bear. So I've started to work on it. I have 3 of his feet done, and I really like how they have been turning out so far. So I'm already obsessed with him, and that's definitely the first project I want to work on this week, since that has like really inspired me to think about all the other types of animals I could make in my Sleepy Little Animals collection. And just to give you a little spoiler, I've already started to work on the second animal in this collection. So I decided that the second animal in the Sleepy Little Animal collection will be an elephant, just because I think they look so cute, and I can already like imagine what it's going to look like in his sleeping, laying down position, and I think it's going to look absolutely adorable. So I've already started to design the pattern. So here is what I have so far. I have 2 little feet, and I already really like the shape of these little feet. They very much look like elephant feet. So they're obviously a little different shaped than the bear paws, just because the elephant feet look somewhat different to paws. So this is what I've come up with, and I really like the shape of it. The overall body shape I'm thinking so far will kind of stay the same with like the laying down position, but of course all of the details and the head will change. So I will need to design all of those. But first order of business will be to finish up my fuzzy little bear. So that is what I will be working on today, just to get the creative juices flowing and like really thinking about what I need to change for the elephant, because then I have like my pattern fresh in mind with this one, and I can already think about what I need to change or how I want things to change for the elephant. So let me get started on working on the fuzzy little bear.
Hey, how's your day? I don't know if I'm interrupting what you say. I've got to know if I've been MIA. I can make it up to you right now. What you say, you should know. I see more life when I'm with you. Time after time, I feel alive when I'm with you. Everything stops for a moment, but only for a moment. So I could take this time to enjoy my view. Yeah.
Okay, friends, so it's now about half an hour later, and I've been working on the little fuzzy bear. and honestly I'm so obsessed with him. This is what I got so far. So I have started to work on the body, and I have already attached the two back legs. So this is what he's looking like. Definitely still a lot to do there. I have the two front feet here, and this one definitely is taking me a lot longer than the usual chenille version that I have been making, but it's honestly so worth it. It's so soft. This is like, I'm obsessed with this yarn, and I can't wait to make all my future patterns in this as kind of like a tradition to keep these little fuzzy animals for myself. So I will keep working on this one and try and finish at least the body today. And then for now, my plan is to then switch back to my new pattern, the sleepy little elephant, and work that up like all the way through the body as well. So then I can make the head for the bear and like have that fresh on my mind and know exactly what I want and need to change for the elephant. Not sure if that is like making sense, but that is what I have been thinking about, and like it kind of makes sense to me right now. We will see if that actually makes sense like when I'm at it, but I'm still pretty new to pattern making, so I'm still figuring out my ways on how to actually like efficiently create a pattern. So that is what I'm thinking currently. We shall see if that works out the way I wanted to, but for now I will keep working on this fuzzy little bear and try and finish his body right now. Okay, so I have finished the body for the little fuzzy bear. This is what he's looking like. I'm absolutely obsessed with how he's turning out so far. I think this is absolutely adorable. I keep squishing it just because I'm so obsessed with it. And it's turning out quite a lot smaller than my original bear. So let me try and set up a little comparison. Okay, so this is the original, and then this is the fuzzy version. So a little bit smaller. I do use a 4mm hook for this yarn and a 4.5 for this, and also I think this is just in general a little thicker. And actually this one, even though it's so soft once crocheted into the body, it has like this kind of like harder string in the middle of the yarn that actually keeps like hurting my finger. So I'm actually glad that I'm done with this body right now and I can get a little bit of a break, because first of all, I'm heading out of the studio for right now, but also because I want to keep working on the elephant body next now to make it up to this point as well, and then see what changes I need to make for that. And that is made in my regular chenille yarn that I always use for all my projects, and that one is super soft, so that is a plus. So that will be the goal for tonight. As I said, I'm heading out for right now because I have an invitation for dinner today. So my goal tonight, once I get back, is to make the elephant up to this point, and then tomorrow we can finish this one up and figure out the rest of the body parts for the elephant. So that is the goal, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another day of pattern designing. Okay friends, I'm now back at the studio and ready to get back into some pattern designing. So I wanted to catch you up on what I've been working on since I last spoke to you. So I kept working on my little elephant pattern, and so far I have completed the 4 feet for him. And then I've also started to work on the body. So this is what it's looking like so far. We basically have the butt done. And then I ended up running out of the gray yarn back at home. So that was kind of poor planning on my part that I didn't have any more of that back at home. But I think that so far it's turning out pretty well. And now the plan for today is to keep working on this one, finish up the body, then we will switch back to my little fuzzy bear, so this one, and finish that one up, and then start designing the rest of the parts for the little sleepy elephant. So that is the plan. Let me grab some more gray yarn out of my yarn stash and we will keep working, and I will check in with you guys once I have something else to show you.
Wait. What do you like about this girl? I mean, there's like a lot of things. I'd probably start with. I like the way she smiles. She got me staring for a while. Got me staring for a while. Yeah. Maybe it's our conversation. She's my favorite notification. She knows how to dress for special occasions. She got me thinking life could be better. These songs start to feel like love letters. I should tell her now, would I ever? It is what it is, man, whatever. Whatever, yeah, whatever. I'm telling you now, it's whatever. Whatever, yeah, whatever.
Okay, friends, it's now a little while later and I have finished the body for the elephant. So this is what it's looking like. And when I actually like finalize the pattern, I already know like what I want to change for it. So I've realized that the sleepy little elephant is a little longer than the sleepy little bear. So the feet are just a row or so too long to be the same size as the sleepy little bear. That is because I had to change the feet up a little bit, and the front is like a little different, more flat. So I thought I would have to add 2 rows, but turns out I only have to add 1 row to the row count of the sleepy little bear so that they turn out the same size, which is obviously the goal for having a whole collection, that they would be similar or possibly even same in size. But for now, this is what the body's looking like. I'm still pretty happy with it. And now I will switch back to working on my fuzzy little bear and starting to work on the head and see if I can like take anything away from the bear head that I then can adapt to the elephant head or not. Not entirely sure how that is going to work. So I will work on that and I will check in with you guys, and of course I will write down a couple of notes to like already kind of plan out the elephant head. So that is the goal for now, and I will check in with you once I have something to show you. Okay, so it's now a little while later. I've been working on my fuzzy little bear, and honestly, this has turned out to be a lot harder than I thought it would be because you can't really see your stitches. But this is how far I've gotten with the little bear head. The eyes are currently not attached. I just have placed them in here to kind of see if it looks right, because something else I realize now is that with fuzzy yarn, you can't really like count the stitches between your eyes, because like usually patterns say place the eyes around 6 stitches apart or something. And of course I did that as well for my pattern, but with the fuzzy yarn I probably should have like marked my stitches for that round so that I later on know exactly how many stitches I'm placing the 2 eyes apart. But I still think that this looks pretty correct. This is like the lower part of the head and the higher part on the head. So I think that this looks actually even, and I'm still using the same size eyes as I did with my regular bear. So this one has slightly larger eyes compared to his body size, but I think that looks super cute. So I will attach the eyes and keep working on this one, and hopefully I'm able to finish that one up today. I did not bring any more of the fuzzy yarn with me to the studio, which again is pretty poor planning on my part. So I really need to figure out a way where I don't always like forget the yarn that I need for my projects that I'm currently working on, either at home or at the studio, because that keeps happening. But my fuzzy yarn is back at home, so we will see how long this lasts me, or if I have to move on to actually starting on the elephant head after finishing this head. So we will see what happens. But for now, I will keep working on this one, and I will check in with you guys once I probably run out of yarn. Okay, friends, so I'm about to head out of the studio for today because I'm yet again busy tonight and meeting up with some friends. So August has basically been the 2nd July where I've just been busy almost every day. But before I leave, I wanted to show you what I got accomplished since I last checked in with you. So I was working on my fuzzy bear a little more, and I finished the head, and I've also sewn on the ears already. So this is what he's looking like. I think I actually might have messed up the eye placement a little bit. It's like one more row like further out than it should be, but still I think he looks pretty cute, and I'm about to sew that onto the body. And I've also worked on the tail as well, so that still needs to be sewn on. So 2 more steps of sewing for this one, and I definitely think I can do that tonight once I get back. So tomorrow I should be able to show you this finished one, and then we will finally start designing some more for this one, and hopefully getting a good chunk of that done tomorrow, because I really want to start working on all of the marketing and writing up the pattern over the course of the weekend. It's currently Wednesday, so I have tomorrow and then possibly Friday to work on this pattern, and then I want to like market that over the course of the weekend and get everything ready to put a testicle out pretty soon as well for that, so I can get the whole like testing process done before I leave for my vacation on September 1st. So I still have a good 2.5 weeks until then. So I really would like to release that before like September 1st. So we shall see if that works out. But I also ended up playing a good game of yarn chicken with my fuzzy brown yarn. So this is everything that I have left for that. So pretty good. I was actually able to crochet all of the parts for the little bear. So I will now head out of the studio for today, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow and we will work on my pattern. Okay, friends, I'm now back at the studio. It's now the next day. So it's Thursday afternoon, which means I'm done with my work week for this week, and we now get to work on creating my pattern and making it come to life in the next couple of days. So I wanted to give you an update on what I've been working on since I checked in with you yesterday. And I have quite the bigger updates than I thought I would have because my plans ended up changing. So I had a lot more time last night to work on plushies. So first of all, I finished up my fuzzy little bear. So this is what he looks like from the side, and this is what the front looks like. I'm really sad that I ended up messing up the eye placement. I think he could have looked a little cuter with the correct eye placement, but since this one is just for me, it's alright, and I still like the way he turned out. And I also really liked that I finally got to work with some fuzzy yarn and get to improve my skills on that. So that guy is finished. And then I was pretty busy last night, so I kept on working on my little elephant. And let me just tell you, I finished what I like to call version 1. So it's not the final version, but I think it's pretty close. I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out so far. So let me just show it to you right now. So this is what he looks like. We've talked about the feet before, so these are a little long, I think. For version 2, I think I will take off possibly even like 2 rounds for the feet just to make them a little more proportionate. I ended up adding this little tail, and I really like the way this one looks, so this one will be staying the same. I also really like the body shape. That didn't change from the bear though. But now for the big reveal. So here is his cute little face. This is what he's looking like from the front. I'm really obsessed with the way his face is shaped. So I really liked what I came up with there for his little trunk and the whole like face shape. I also really like the ears. I really challenged myself to find a way to make them not just round but a little more elephant ear shaped, what I would say. But for version 2, I will try and make the ear a little slimmer down here. So you can kind of tell how it like curves inward here and is like less thick here than it is up here. So I will try on version 2 to make that even like a stronger curve and a little less thick on the bottom than this one. So we will try and see if I can figure that out. Other than that, I'm really obsessed with him. I think he is looking so cute, so sleepy. I'm really obsessed with how this one turned out. So I'm actually really excited to start to work on version 2 since those are, I think, just like minor changes. I'm still like already obsessed with this one and I kind of have a good idea what I want to work on for version 2. So I will start doing that today, and I think this one is like close enough to like the end result that I will actually try and make version 2 in a different color, just so I have two different colored elephants for like taking pictures and doing a little bit of marketing for my testicle and then the pattern. Because if I made version 2 in this same color, I think like it wouldn't look all that different, and I just think it will be a little more interesting for people to actually see two different colored elephants. So I've picked out this color for version 2. So the accent color will stay white, and then the body of the elephant will be this blue instead of the gray, just so I have a little more contrast for the pictures. And yeah, basically two changes to the pattern that I will try and work on for the second version. Sure about the feet, not sure about the ears. We shall see if I actually like them better when I change them or if we keep those in the final version. But also for version 2 of this pattern, I will be taking pictures on like all of the steps where I feel like a picture would be helpful. So on version 1, I didn't do that. I just worked and figured out the pattern I wanted to write. And now for version 2, I will be stopping and taking pictures that I will include in the final pattern. That's the same way I did with my sleepy little bear. I did that the same way. The first one I just made, I just created, and then for the second one, I took all of the pictures for the actual pattern, because also then I more know what I'm doing. So that will be the plan for today. I will start to work on this one, and I will probably not finish all of that today while I'm over here, but we will definitely keep on working on that tomorrow. So then after that, I can actually work on doing some of the admin stuff for writing a pattern and putting out a pattern. So that is a quite a big chunk of work as well. So we still have quite a lot to do for that. But let me start to work right now and we will figure out the rest later.
It comes and goes in the blink of an eye. Soon as I swear you've been left behind, all the colors come back so bright. Wish I could keep you in black and white.
Okay friends, so I'm now about to leave the studio for today, so not a ton of studio time today, but the weekend is just starting, so we will definitely have a lot more time tomorrow and the other days to finalize the pattern. So I only got one foot completed, so this is what the new version of the foot looks like, and it's definitely a little shorter than the other one, so when I hold it up to the body, it looks a lot more proportionate to me. I've been like trying and holding it up instead of the other foot that I currently have on the pattern, and I think this one looks just a lot better like compared to the body size. And also I've been holding it up to my sleepy little bear as well, and the length is now pretty much exactly the same, which is what I wanted. So they're pretty much the same size now. So that is awesome. That is exactly what I wanted. So that is going the way I wanted to. And the goal for tonight for myself will be to work on the other 3 feet for this pattern. And then I will probably stop and do the rest of the plushie tomorrow when I'm back here, because then I want to take pictures on like how to attach the feet to the body and stuff like that. And I want the pictures to be consistent, so I will take those pictures over here once I'm back over here tomorrow. But I can make all of the rest of the feet for tonight since they're all the same, so I can get a head start on that. So that is the goal for tonight, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another day in the studio. Okay, friends, it's now the next day, and I'm back at the studio, and I have 3 big things to accomplish today to finally finish up writing this pattern. So I wrote up the pattern this morning, so that has been mostly finalized. I just need some more pictures for some of the steps. As I've been saying, I like to include like some helpful pictures at some points throughout the pattern to make it just easier to understand what I want to explain there or what I want to do there. So I did that, I wrote that up. So the first big thing will be to finish out my blue version 2 elephant. So that will be task number 1. Then I also want to take those pictures throughout the pattern that I just mentioned. So that will be task number 2. And then task number 3 will be to take some content, so both pictures, lots of pictures for like the pattern listing, tester call, all of those things. And then also I would like to at least make like 2 reels, hopefully, so that I can promote the pattern and the tester call. So those are the 3 big goals for today. I did come pretty far with the blue elephant, so I completed all 4 of the feet. So those are done. I then also made the little tail since I didn't really need any pictures for that. And then I finished one of the ears because I could take pictures on the second one. So that is completed, and then I'm currently working on the second ear and finishing that one up. I just took some pictures of like the process, so I will now finish that one up, and then we will work on the body, and I want to take some pictures on like how to attach the legs to the body. So that will be the next picture, and then probably just a couple more to like really explain what I'm doing. And yeah, that is basically the goal, to actually finish up writing my pattern today. Let's see if I can do it. It's already afternoon, so this morning we ended up like going out and taking a big walk and all of that. So I've had a pretty relaxing day today so far, and now I'm ready to finish up this pattern. Okay, friends, it's now quite a while later, and I have finished the second version of my sleepy little elephant, and I'm absolutely obsessed with him. I think he turned out so cute. I really like the new ear shape. They just curve inward just a little more than they did on version 1, like this. So this is a little like broader down here, and then version 2 just curves inward a little more. Not sure if it's actually coming across on camera, but like in real life, I really like the second version. Also, the feet and the body are just a lot more proportionate, which I really like. And those 2 changes were like the 2 big things that I wanted to improve on from version 1. So I definitely accomplished that. I'm really obsessed. I also really like that I chose 2 very different colors because, as I said before, I can still use this one for marketing, like the classic elephant color. So that means that we have accomplished task 1, which was finishing up the elephant, and task 2, I kept taking pictures like on like all of the steps where I felt like it would be helpful. So those 2 tasks are completed now. And then I've also taken quite a lot of pictures already of the 2 little plushies in like different poses, like back on my chair and just like in the air like this. And I think I've like taken around 50 or so pictures. So that should be enough, but I'm not sure if you're able to tell from the lighting. It's actually quite late already, so I don't think I will have the time to actually like film my reels that I've been wanting to film, but I can still like show you and prepare everything so that I can film those tomorrow morning first thing when the sun is like hitting the studio just right and I can get the right lighting that I want. But, and take this with a grain of salt because I'm by no means any like social media pro, but this is just like the way I do this for my reels. So I usually like look through Instagram and look at what other people are like doing for their pattern announcements and tester calls. And then I also like to go through my saved reels on my Instagram profile, because that is where I put all of my ideas of like reels or just like concepts that I really like and I want to recreate. I take inspiration from all kinds of niches, not just crocheters, but like anything. Even if I just like the music, I know you can just like save the music, but I usually just save it in my saved folder, and I usually go through that and check out what I want to do. So I will be doing that tonight and then producing the 2 reels that I want to like post to market my pattern. I will film those tomorrow, but by now I can definitely tell that by the time you're watching this video, the tester call for my sleepy little elephant will be out on my Instagram. So go head over there right now and apply if you want to, and if you have the time, I would really appreciate that. And yeah, the pattern release will probably be a couple days later. I will put the date right here. So that's basically it for this week's vlog. We have accomplished writing another pattern. So thank you guys so much for coming along with me for that and keeping me accountable and actually motivated to complete a project like this in just a week. Thank you so much for that, and I will see you guys again next week for another video. So until then, bye.